Welcome to Word Problem Wednesday. Oh, see, I love using alliteration when I introduce our classes, even if they're math classes. Today, we are going to still be working on subtraction, but we're going to be looking at how to use subtraction in word problems. Remember, word problems are just like story problems. They're the kind of thing that we would encounter in real life. Because usually when I use subtraction, I don't see a sheet with a subtraction problem that I need to solve. I have instead a recipe, and I need to use subtraction to figure out exactly how much I'm supposed to put in, right? Subtraction is something we use in real life. So let's take a look at our first problem. I am going to have the problem typed on the screen for you. I'm not going to write it on the board behind me, but we will work it out on the board. So, if Mrs. Wyant has 47 cupcakes and Emerson steals 12 of them, I'm sorry, Emerson, I'm pretty sure you've stolen from me in another word problem, but oh, we'll go with it. So, Mrs. Wyant has 47 cupcakes, Emerson steals 12 of them. How many cupcakes does Mrs. Wyant have left? All right, when I look at a word problem, sometimes I like to take my pencil or my chalk and circle or highlight important things. So do you see any important numbers that we might need? Okay, well, Mrs. Wyant has how many cupcakes? 47. That seems important to me. How many does Emerson steal? He takes away 12, okay. Now, I'm writing them in a tower. Sometimes they won't work that way for you. I know, because the question talks about him stealing, taking away, that we're going to use subtraction. But you won't always know if you're using subtraction or addition. Later on, we'll be learning how to tell between multiplication and division. But for now, these ones are, I think, all going to be subtraction. We'll take a look. There might be a little addition there just to make you think. All right, how many cupcakes does Mrs. Wyant have left? Let's find out. 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. Now, does anybody remember my big rule with word problems? Is this fine? Can I just leave that as the answer? Of course not. If I give you a question in a sentence, I want you to give me a sentence answer. So answer the questions. How many cupcakes does Mrs. Wyant have? Mrs. Wyant has, let's actually write that down. I'm going to say Mrs. W has 35 cupcakes. That is the answer. I have my sentence and it has the correct answer in the sentence. When you end up doing your subtraction test, which you will be doing, remote learning or no remote learning, you will have some word problems. And word problems are always going to be worth 2 marks. 1 mark is for having the correct answer. 1 mark is for having a sentence that answers the question. So maybe you're like, I don't know how to do subtraction, I'm terrible at it, my answer will be so wrong. Okay, but you can get a mark just by showing me that you know how to put an answer in a sentence. So don't forget this part. It's really important. All right, let's talk a little bit about some different words that we might see that tell us we're using subtraction. Okay? Take away or steal. Okay, if someone is losing something or they're being taken away or something's being stolen, we're subtracting. Okay, here's another one. Difference. So if my question is, Bethel has 19 popsicles. Okay, Bethel has 19 popsicles and Pat has 14 popsicles. Who has more and how many more do they have? I mean, I hear the word more. More makes me think of addition. But what I'm really asking here is what's the difference between how many popsicles they have? So when I'm looking for the difference between, I use subtraction. And if you're ever not sure which number to put on top in the tower, remember that we always put the bigger number on top. So, okay, 19 is our bigger number. Let's subtract. What's 9 minus 4? 5, good. 1 minus 1 is 0. So, the answer to this question is, Bethel has 5 more popsicles than Pat. Yay, Bethel, you have more popsicles. Congratulations. Sorry, Pat. Maybe you ate them, or maybe some of your sisters were eating your popsicles. I don't know. I would have put this in a sentence answer, of course, but I don't want to take up your time with me writing a sentence. Let's open up your Jump Math book now and see what you're going to work on today. All right, today you are in Jump Math on page 70 and 71. We are going to be doing number 2, 5, 6, and 8. Now, there's enough room in your book around these things that you can probably fit your answers here. If you don't have enough space, you can grab a scrap piece of paper and write your answers there. If you do that, though, can you make sure you label what question and what letter you're on, if that's what you're going to send me? So number 2 says, Takaka Falls in British Columbia is 302 meters tall. The Canadian Horseshoe Falls in Ontario is 57 meters tall. Which waterfall is taller? So you need to tell me the name of which one is taller. How do you know? Well, because one of those numbers is a bigger number, right, guys? And then for B, how much taller is the taller waterfall? When it says how much taller, it's looking for the difference between the two waterfalls. Remember how difference is one of those words that we use when we need to subtract. So which number do we put on top of the tower? Which number do we put on the bottom? That will figure out. And because we're looking at meters, your answer here will be in meters. All right, then we're going to come down to number 5. Jin has 17 books. Tina has 35 books. How many more books does Tina have than Jin? This is a difference question. How many books do they have all together? Oh, what does all together make us think of? When we're putting things together, do we need to subtract or do we need to add? Ooh, yeah, we need to add. Over to number 6. Sandy has 243 marbles. Tony has 178 marbles. So A, how many marbles do they have in total? I would almost underline the in total. In total, is that going to be adding or subtracting? For B, how do you know that Sandy has more marbles than Tony? Talk to me about hundreds, tens, or ones. And then C, how many more marbles, the difference, does Sandy have? Show your work just means that you're going to need to write a tower to show how you got that answer. Finally, we're going to come down to number 8. A ferry or a boat between Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia holds 200 cars. By 8 a.m., 73 cars arrive. By 9 a.m., 84 more cars arrive. How many cars in total arrive by 9 a.m.? So in total, is that adding or subtracting? And then how many more cars can be loaded before the ferry is full? So for that question, we need to ask a couple of things. Well, how many cars can it hold? What tells us up here? How many cars are already on it? That tells us in A. So we need to find the difference between how many cars are already there and how many cars it can hold. The difference. And please remember to give me sentence answers. Have fun doing your work, guys.